All right, I'm here with Jim Root of Three Man Weave. Also had work featured on the Field of 68, the Action Network as well. Rhode Island basketball, Archie Miller. I want to kind of cut to the chase. You look at the projections, you look at their roster, kind of picked in that seven and eight spot in a lot of standings. What do you think, or what would you call a successful year? For me personally, I feel like they finish above the seven, anywhere from six below maybe exceeded expectations. If you finish maybe nine or beyond nine, maybe something was amiss. Where do you put them, with where their roster stands right now?
I have them right in that 6 to 7 range. And I know it is Archie's first year, and maybe it'll take a little bit to really imprint his identity on this team, but I think they're pretty talented. I like the pieces he brought in and a couple of the guys that are back. And Archie's won in this league before. He's won really consistently. I know it's Dayton has kind of been one of the powerhouses for years, but I just think he's a really good basketball coach. It didn't fully happen for him at Indiana, and that's a high pressure job, but I think it's a home run hire for Rhode Island to get him back into the A10. Look what Travis Ford's done after kind of flaming out at a power conference job, but coming back into the league. He's got St. Louis in a really good spot. So I think right off the bat, Archie could get them right up into that top half and maybe a little bit higher, especially down the road as he continues to build.
Yeah, and I want to obviously talk about some of the guys he brought in, but with some of the guys there, obviously you have Leggett. I really like Leggett as a freshman. I think sophomore year maybe didn't take the jump that many were expected, but I think a good piece there. You obviously have Martin, who's a veteran, Carey, Thomas as well. Is there someone who was there prior to Archie Miller that you're most high on, or you think really could have a good season under Archie?
I love Malik Martin. I think he's going to be an Archie player. Just versatility defensively, can guard a bunch of different spots, kind of knows his role offensively. He's not trying to do too much. Great finisher. I think he was above 64% last year from the field. I just think he's going to be the kind of guy that resonates with a tough-minded coach like Archie because of the defensive versatility, like I said, and he's 6'6", 215. He's going to fit really well with what Miller's envisioning for the program, I think.
Definitely. And then, you're looking at the transfers. I think, I'm very high. A lot of people are on Freeman. I do think he's kind of can be a game changer. Not just this year. I do think he's going to be a volume scorer, will have to be, I think, the primary scorer, at least this year. But beyond Freeman, you look at a guy like Weston, former top 100 recruit, obviously didn't get a chance to play because of injuries. How do you see him fitting, and how important is he to Archie and Rhode Island moving forward, not just this year?
Oh, he's crucial. I mean, you get that kind of a guy, almost a second opportunity here, despite not getting to play at Seton Hall to the injury. He could be massive. Like if you just gotten him out of high school as a top 100 player, that'd be making waves. Rhode Island pulled Cam
Yeah.
Weston. That's big time. And now we don't know because of last year, but the talent is there, the size, the wing adaptability. Again, kind of like Martin, I think he can guard a bunch of different spots. If he was a good enough wing defender recruit for Kevin Willard, he's definitely going to fit in fine at the A10. So as he blossoms and grows offensively, I think it'll really help Rhode Island's long-term trajectory as well.
Definitely. And then, you look at the front court. I at A10 Media Day, I was talking to Archie. It was clear, obviously, he thinks this is going to be one of his quickest teams. And I think it's going to have to be. They are a little thin up front. Bilal is hurt. I think Jeremy Famina, who I was high on, still high on, he's redshirting as a freshman. They brought in Alex from Alabama. What do you see in the front court, which I think has the most question marks for them?
Yeah, there isn't that like big man throw him the ball on the post and let him go get a bucket kind of player. But there is some versatility. And Alex Chiku from Alabama never really got to show much there. But I talked to a couple Alabama fans that have always been enamored with his upside, his skill level. He's long. He can kind of move around the perimeter, handle the ball a little bit more than you'd expect for a 6'11" guy. Just like I said, didn't get the chance to prove it for Alabama. He's going to be a really enticing option. And hopefully they can get Bilal back, get him on the floor because he's a little bit more of the traditional big that maybe Archie could be looking for. But that is, like you said, that's kind of the area of, is it going to work out? Do we have enough pieces here for the long term to survive the grind of a really
Yeah.
deep A10 conference this year? So we'll see.
Yeah. And then, lastly, I don't know how much, about the freshman class. As I mentioned, Femina is redshirting this year from Montreal. You have Hutchinson. I've actually been hearing a lot of good things coming out of not just Archie, but others about Rory's play. Another guy from Orangeville Prep didn't get as much press as a guy like Femina, but someone who may get time now because of injuries. But you look at that freshman class, what do you see there?
There's options, and I think that's going to kind of continue to be the case with Archie. Is he's going to draw in some prospects, the success he's had in the past, some of the connections that he made at Indiana, not just within the state, but obviously, Orangeville. I'm sorry, Orangeville. Okay, yeah, like that's a really good. If you can get a pipeline going from there to Rhode Island, you're going to get some talented pieces. So just with what they have this year, bringing in a couple talented young transfers with Weston and Freeman that aren't just, rentals for a year. I think he's going to continue building, not just with this class, but into the future as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, like I said, thank you for your time. I think the A10, I know you've talked about in the past, it is deep. I think with Frank Martin, what you have at UMass, I think this year is important for a team like Rhode Island and Archie to prove the success, because they're going to be in a lot of recruiting battles in the transfer portal and out of high school with some A10 teams regionally and also, throughout the whole conference. But Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.